Welcome back to the show. You guys are still watching Game On inside the Phil Oil Eco Oil Center in San Juan City. And now we are three right here on the table introducing, of course, my companions for today, my compadres today. Unahin muna natin, partner ko kanina sa ating coverage, Coach Hammer Martin Antonio.
I'm back in my proper seat. Mas yung paborito ko upuan yung gilid.
Sa may end talaga, no? Okay, Coach Hammer Martin Antonio will help us out in breaking down the top performers alongside one of our junior panelists in Nico Waje. Nico, welcome.
Magandang araw, Martin. And Coach Hammer, it's great to sit alongside the two great Martins of the NCAA.
Wow, great.
Wow.
Marami akong naririnig tungkol sa inyo eh.
Ano daw? Ano sabi?
Sana mabuti naman yung naririnig.
Oo nga eh.
Mabuti naman.
Na ano tayo, naluto agad tayo ito ni Nico ha, first statement pa lang.
Sorry.
But this is Nico's first time here on the show, on Game On. Of course, we got to catch you in opening day, opening weekend sa Mall of Asia Arena, where you sat beside us explaining the different things that we had there. But you are with us here to help us out in trying to explain and trying to talk about our top performers so far in the league. But before we go there, unahin muna natin yung resulta ngayong araw na to. Because we had a Sunday triple header today, we began the action with EAC and San Beda. At dahil po San Beda ang pag-uusapan natin, pasa natin to kay Coach Hammer.
Dito tayo agad right away. But again, San Beda was having trouble to start off the second round. They lost back-to-back games against Arellano and San Sebastian. So this was a much-needed win para sa San Beda Red Lions. They found a new hero. Dahil new heroes of the game nga tayo, Reon, AJ Royo, stepping up big time, 13 points, providing depth at that point guard position. Dahil Peter Alfaro is still not 100%. Okay? Yukian Andrada also faced a hamstring issue in the end of the first round. Nakita natin that they were able to play the roster and the rotations that they were able to be fruitful with in the first round. Jumel Puno, one of our league leading rebounders coming off the bench, nakalaro siya with their second group. So yun yung nagbigay ng chance sa kanila to get that W and secure against the vastly improved EAC Generals.
That's right. Aaron Royo, Aaron.
AJ
Royo. Pinapakita niya unti-unti yung laro niya dito sa ating competition for the past few games. Pinapasok siya ni Coach Yuri.
Saka pasundot-sundot lang yung dating sa kanya. And Mantagle also given an opportunity. The guys there are really welcoming Yukian Andrada because Yukian provides a lot of versatility, not only on the offense, but really defensively. They can play small, they can play big with Yukian at that 4 and 5 spot.
Pag talagang pinag-uusapan ng San Beda, napapapikit po si Coach Hammer Martin Antonio. Alright, let's break down the second game. Nakita ko pumikit ng konti eh. Now, let's go to another battle of Intramuros between LPU and Letran. Nico, this was a game that we didn't expect, at least in the early going. First 3 quarters natin.
First 45 minutes.
First 45 minutes. Ayan, go ahead, Nico.
At yun nga, sinasabi kanina, nabasa ko kanina doon sa GMA Sports Facebook page na LPU stun itong Colegio San Juan de Letran, na parang itong Letran gustong-gusto na talagang manalo after that last game na talo nila, di ba? Itong Letran, they thought they could finally win, get that win number 2, but again and again, LPU has other things in mind. Kanina kang second game natin, beating Letran dun sa ating end game.
I only have one statement for that. I was not surprised that happened.
Ganun sila maglaro eh.
Yeah.
Lumalamang ang Letran kasi, they're able to get leads.
Yeah.
But as fast as they get leads, they give away leads. They were leading in the first 35 minutes of the game. And then, endgame, nag-run na naman, pakimarkahan na numero 7 at numero 26 ng LPU shot makers. In the fourth quarter, they were running a single play, single post-up action kay Sean Umali. And from that, and their hustle, effort and unselfishness. That's the name of the game for the LPU Pirates since day 1 that Coach Gilbert Malabanan handled the squad.
They had a couple of big-time players making big-time shots in that game.
Unselfish effort, unselfish extra passes.
Guadagna was the player of the game with 18 points, but we also got to commend JM Bravo, who hit timely 3-pointers to put away Letran.
JM Bravo can miss the first 3 quarters and then he turns to the ultimate closer para dito sa LPU Pirates. 11 points in a 3-minute span to give the lift dito sa LPU Pirates.
All right, and now let's go to our latest game, Mapua versus San Sebastian. Mapua, it's been a rocky start for them, as we mentioned earlier, with Clint to begin the second round, losing twice already in 3 games sa panimula po ng ating second round of competition. But finally, they were able to get their bearings against San Sebastian earlier in another tight contest. This was a nip-and-tuck battle all throughout, as you saw earlier, Nico. Pero itong Mapua had the final say, had the final kick in the fourth quarter.
Lalo to si Warren Bonifacio leading the team dun sa panalo nila kanina laban dito sa San Sebastian na Golden Stags. At also Clint Escamis, mukhang inspired si Clint Escamis dahil ang dami ring fan na nanonood sa kanya doing everything on the floor para rito sa Mapua Cardinals.
That's right, Clint Escamis. Despite struggling, pinoint out ko kanina.
0 out of 5.
Ang sabi kasi ni JC kanina, mag-tres ka lang, Kuya Clint, mag-tres ka lang, Kuya Clint. Pagtingin ko, ay okay, hindi pala naka-tres today si Clint, pero babawi yan. But as you mentioned, it was Warren Bonifacio pacing the team with 15 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, and a rejection. Coach Ham.
Well, again, it was Mapua's physicality. They stuck with what worked. It was the basics. It was the things that they were doing in the first round, being physical, being able to contain the guys one-on-one. And in the end game, they were able to get the rebounds that were the most important at that time. May pagkakataon humabol ang San Sebastian. They were able to take care of business. And the big guys played well. Warren Bonifacio, double digits, almost a double-double. May utang sa atin na isang rebound si Warren. And Jopet Soriano coming off the bench with 11 points and 7 rebounds and providing a lot of hustle for the Cardinals.
Babayaran daw agad, Coach.
Dapat.
Dapat.
Matik yun.
Piso na lang eh.
Matik yun.
Kinulang lang. But again, I love this game from Warren Bonifacio because in the past few games for them, we've seen him, and this is his character. You know, he's passive when his teammates are being activated. But today, you know, he was more assertive, he was more aggressive, especially on the offensive end. He was 6 out of 11 from the
Hindi
field.
lang natin natanong kung siya rin ba magdadala ng bola papunta sa bus. Kasi yun yung pinag-uusapan natin in the end game.
To the Mapua team, huwag niyo naman gawin yan kay Warren. Di ba? Mapapagod ng gusto yung bata.
Natuto naman siya sa mga rookie.
Natuto. But again, they're just glad they're back on the winning track. Okay, now after the quick recap na itong ating Sunday triple header, ngayon naman po pupuntahan natin yung talagang mga mamang nagpakitang gilas sa first round of competition, aka the top performers of the first round here in the NCAA Season 99. Let's start in the points department, the scoring category. Unahin muna natin itong si Kurt Reon. He's been struggling in the season, quote-unquote. He's been in and out of the starting lineup. He's been trying to solidify a role and an identity for his team this season. But despite all of that, he's still number 5 in scoring after the first 9 games.
So bago natin puntahan, ayan yung mga leading scorer. Panay points guard.
Uy!
Panay points guard, di ba? Ito, prior to the season, pinag-uusapan natin ni Landon. This season will be dictated by the guards. In the past few years, we had Ren Sabando, we had Justin Arana. The highlight players. Yun yung mga tinitignan natin. And even last year, Will Gozum was the guy that really took care of business in the NCAA. But this year, kanina kasama mo si Clint Escamis dito sa Game On. Teams are being dictated by the way the cards are playing. Babalikan natin si Kurt Reon. Kurt has been blanketed. Even though that he is providing double-digit points, every game is a struggle para kay Kurt Reon. And it's so surprising that he ends up in the top 5 of scoring. Dahil kung pati yung assistant coaches ng kalaban dumidepensa, 10 tao yung nakapalibot sa kanya, every shot attempt, madalang na madalang makakuha si Kurt Reon ng malinis na tira this season 99, which talagang ine-expect na rin niya. He is the lone guy in that rotation na nagstay. Actually, dalawa sila ni Javier, but on that perimeter rotation nila from the past 3 championships, siya yung natira.
Kumbaga, pinartidahan pa nitong si Kurt Reon yung ibang manlalaro natin. Though, tama ka doon, Coach Hammer, he's struggling lalo na sa kanyang tres. 11 out of 61 for the whole first round. 18.03% sa 3-point line. Medyo not so Kurt Reon yun from the last season. Alam natin.
But still averaging 15 points. Of course, Kurt, we wish you the best. Do your rehab. And we would like to see you again back in the remaining games of Letran. 15 points is no joke. But sobrang taas na expectation din kasi kay Kurt dahil 60% of the point production ng Letran graduated and moved on to the pros. Ganun lang kasimple.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to our next two scorers. And again, they come from just one team, the SBU Blazers. You got Robin Ive and Miguel Loczon filling the void na hindi pa masyadong napunan, at least in the first round, hindi pa masyadong napunan ni Will Gozum, who was, as you mentioned, last season's leading scorer.
Okay, for ito si Migs Oxon at si Robin Ivy. For Migs, averaging 15 points per game. At si Robin Ivy naman ay 14.78 points per game. At itong dalawa nito, ito yung nagbibigay talaga ng puntos para sa College of St. Benilde. Number 1 lang naman sa field goal percentage itong College of St. Benilde at 40.61%, mostly because of these two guys. Also, number 1 in 3-point field goal ang Blazers, 30.26%. 69 out of 228 on that first round. And it's because Robin Ive shooting a whopping 59.62%.
Yeah, almost 60% three-point shooter si Robin Ive. But the clear thing here that you mentioned, Martin, was the seeming absence, the albatross in the room, the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Si Will Gozum was not playing at par because number 1, he shifted a position.
Can I ask why elephant?
Diba?
I'm kidding.
He shifted down,
Yeah.
playing small forward. It was a big adjustment. We interviewed him when he was the best player of the game. Malaking bagay na naglaro siya ng wing.
Yeah.
Okay? So, a lot of scoring will filter down. Ang big thing, kaya nag-struggle to start off the season. The numbers are there for Migs Oxon. We know him that he would be scoring 15 a game and he has done 1.1 when it comes to the attack ng St. Bill. Robin Ive has been one of their steady scorers since season 97. But the big deal was the leadership void that was left by JC Culyar and Jimboy Pastoran, who took the biggest shots last season.
Okay.
So yun yung, the production is there for the guards. But now, nung umayos na yung rotations nila and everybody fell into place, now we hear the thunderous footsteps of the preseason number 1 squad. Kaya, tama-tama lang na nandiyan dyan. And makikita mo magdidip ng konti yung averages nitong dalawang to dahil tumataas na ang average ni Will Gozum, tumataas na rin yung 2-point field goal attempts nila. Mas umaatake na sila underneath the basket dahil 200 3-point attempts in 9 games is a lot.
That's true. Okay, let's move on to your boy, Coach Hammer. Jacob Cortez, the cool cub, slowly ascending to King Lion status.
Yep.
Jacob Cortez, solid point guard, showing us much improved scoring prowess and handling as well. You know what? Every time I see this guy, showtime lagi.
15 points a game, 15.4 points a game on a bad ankle, a bad hip, and a bad shooting hand.
Yeah.
The last 3 games of San Beda in the first round, he has been ailing to say the least, but no excuses. He was scoring well and the way that he was able to finish games. Dahil yun ang naging question ngayon sa San Beda. Who are the finishers?
Yeah.
Definitely may hierarchy na sila. Jomel Puno is right there, but very raw pa. Nakikita natin na the points that Jomel provides is coming off crash boards and all that. Jake Cortez, nasa DNA na to.
Okay.
DNA to eh, DNA. So, ngayon nagmamanifest na last year he took a backseat. So, now, so right there, the Cub being a King Lion, sabi mo.
Yeah, those are our scoring leaders. Next natin, number 1 after the first round, Nico, H.M. Miranda of the JRU Heavy Bombers. Again, this could be the season for JRU. Right now, they are in a difficult position.
I've been believing in them since season 97.
And in at least the recent games for JRU, he brings in the scoring off the bench.
Yep.
Ganyan yung ginagawa niya, not part of the starting unit.
Yeah, for H.M. Miranda, he's doing it inside and outside para rito sa JRU Heavy Bombers. He's averaging 42.4% in the field. That's medyo mataas na rin yun, Coach Hammer and Martin. And on the 3-point field goal, 34.15, 14 off 41 on that first round. At syempre, ito, sigurista itong si A-Gem, shooting 46.43% sa 2-point line. At bukod dyan, also rebounding well, 4.44 in rebounds, assists at 3.44 and 1.44. Still talking about doing everything for the GRU Heavy Bombers.
Yep. Great numbers para sa kanya, but one underrated facet ng laro ni Isa Miranda that he added on this season was getting to the line.
Okay.
He was able to get more free throws. He was able to fabricate more points from the free throw line. And mas lumaki yung katawan, nakakatanggap na ng hits. He's able to finish in contact.
That's right. Miranda, Cortez, Oczon, Naive, Reon, the top 5 in scoring after the first round of competition in your NCAA Season 99. We'll talk about more players in a bit from different statistical categories sa pagbabalik po ng Game On. Back to our coverage. Nagbabalik tayo sa Game On and we continue to talk about the top performers of the first round and Season 99 of men's basketball. Dito sa NCAA, we started with the scoring leaders earlier and now we shall proceed with our floor generals, our assist leaders so far. And we start with a man who had very big shoes to fill this season with the departure of Greg Cunanan. Ito yung mga assist leaders natin. Nakita nyo, the top 5. You got Cunanan, Reon, number 3 is Prince Carlos, number 2 is Clint Escamis, number 1 is JL De Los Santos. I want to focus first on Greg Cunanan because he had much pressure going into the season with the departure of last season's assist leader in Enzo Navarro. He is now the lead floor general for LPU at nagagampanan niya yan. And now they have a solid record. They're part of the top 2. Okay, after Greg though, eto naman yung susunod nating player. From points kanina to assists. Sige, Nico.
Sabi nga natin, di ba, gustong manalo nitong si Kurt Reon kahit sa assist department na talagang nangunguna siya para dito sa Letran Knights, averaging 4.13 assists per game para sa Letran. If you are the leader of this group for this Letran Knights, doing the points and ina-assist mo rin itong mga teammates mo, ay wala na ibang hihilingin pa yung buong Letran community for Kurt Reon.
Napansin ko, taas ng usage ni Kurt Reon. No?
I mean, kung titignan mo yung usage rate, if you compare it to the minutes that he plays, 90% of the time he holds the basketball for the Letran Knights. Ganun lang kasimple yan. They don't have any other guy that can provide pressure on the defense when they're attacking. That's why Kurt Reon is being blanketed by at least 3 to 4 guys whenever he crosses the half court. Ang schemes kontra sa Letran Knights is against Kurt Reon. Buti na lang, nakagawa siya ng paraan.
Okay, next. I'm not sure if you guys are going to be surprised with this one, but this guy also had very big shoes to fill.
Balling
right now, but he is timing as well. Prince Carlos from the SBU Blazers, ang kanyang pinalitan dito sa lineup at sa starting unit, JC Colliar.
Oh, yun yung mabigat doon. Kasi yung leadership void ang importante and that basketball has energy the way that he feeds Naive, the way that he feeds etong si Mix Oczon. But Mix Oczon is more of a pin-down guy na pagka nakakuha magkikreate. But at the end of the day, Prince Carlos has been doing really well and being able to make timely threes, yun yung importante. And the passes na ibinibigay niya, nasa scoring spots na yung mga kakampi niya.
That's right. Ito nga si Prince Carlos.
Si,
yeah, go ahead.
Prince Carlos din ang dahilan. That's why the Blazers are number 2 in assist department sa ating round 1 with 18.67 assists per game.
Tatlo yata sila or 4 na nag-a-average ng more than 2.5 assists throughout their squad. So it's a testament of that unselfish brand of basketball that Coach Charles has been preaching since season 97.
Speaking of unselfish teams, dumako naman tayo sa current number 1 team in the league, the Mapua Cardinals, and this guy. We'll start talking about this guy from here on out. Clint Escamis with some flashy plays all throughout the season, with some spectacular passes as well. A little over 5 assists per game para dito sa nagbabalik na si Clint Escamis and the Mapua Cardinals. One of the reasons why they are on top of the NCAA right now. Okay.
Number 1 na tayo para dito sa ating assist department. Number 1, none other than JL De Los Santos, averaging 6.22 assists per game para dito sa JRU Heavy Bombers. At syempre, number 1 na rin ang JRU dyan sa assist total with 179 assists sa ating first round. At itong si JL De Los Santos, once recorded 11 assists last September 24. Tapos may 10 assists pa siyang isang game na 10 assists last October 17.
You know what I noticed about JL De Los Santos this season? We know he can score, but he's not looking for his points this season. He is being passive, but at the same time, kaya siya leading in assists right now, 6.22. Kasi talagang nagsiset up siya para sa mga kampi niya. Coach Hammer.
Basic na basic, mas kabisado na kung saan gagalaw ang mga kakampi. Yung mga kakampi niya knows the offense better and they have better personnel on the spots that production is needed.
All right. Cunanan, Rayson, Carlos Escames, and De Los Santos are our top 5 in the assist department. Ngayon naman tumungo tayo sa rebounding. Let's go to our big men here in the competition. Here's the top 5 right now. We'll start with LPU's graduating captain, Enoch Valdez, 8 rebounds a game. Yeah, this was expected from Enoch Valdez this season, especially this is gonna be his calling card. Pagdating niya sa pros, yung kanyang hustle.
Oh, exactly. If you look at our top 5, nakita nyo kanina, Flinash, it's all about effort. These guys are effort players, especially Enoch Valdez, yan ang bread and butter niya. Sipag, sipag, sipag.
Oo. Napanood natin kanina, Nico, yung pang-apat, si Romel Calahat, mula naman sa San Sebastian.
Itong si Romel Calahat, averaging 8.67 rebounds per game para rito sa San Sebastian. That's why itong San Sebastian ay number 6 in rebounds with 44.56. Karamihan dyan, itong nanggagaling kay Romel Calahat, Martin and Coach Hammer.
They were almost on their average against Mapua kanina.
No, but they were out-rebounded by Mapua, especially on the offensive rebounding. And speaking of offensive rebounding, one of the best offensive rebounders that we have. Number 3, Mark Denver Omega. MDO, eats rebounds per lunch, crashes the boards, and he doesn't care kung sinong tatamaan. He takes care of business. But itong key stat kay Mark Omega, he is not playing a lot of minutes this year. So take it like a grain of salt. Napakarami niya nakukuha ang rebound in smaller doses of time.
That's right.
Tinuturuan niya ni Scotty Thompson for Mark Omega.
Naman, who is, you know...
Number 1 lang naman itong perpetual sa rebounds with 50.11.
That's right. Balikan natin yung Scotty kasi ini-integrate ni Scotty yung kanyang thoughts sa coaching staff na itong Perpetual Autos. Okay. MDO, the boy with springs. Di ba? As a middle blocker to, nung volleyball player pa siya. Let's go to the next one. Ito, gusto ko ipasa to kay Coach Hammer because I love the emergence of this guy. 3 straight double-doubles in the tail end of the first round. Introducing himself to the NCAA, your guy, Jomel Puno from San Beda.
Well, Jomel Puno is a wing guy, number 1. He plays small forward, very lanky, very athletic. The guy is listed at 6'5", but he is 6'7". The guy is 6'7", plays the wing. So that's an innate advantage. And for some odd reason, pag tumatalbog yung bola, nandoon siya in that space. He knows how to get to the spots and maganda yung pagbasa niya. Yung hand-eye coordination niya, again, nandoon. So I'm excited to see the developments and the things that Jomel would add on to his game. But his rebounding has been consistent. Even this morning, maganda yung rebounding numbers.
Hindi naman Puno ang apelido niyan kung hindi pipitas yan.
Pinipitasan pag Puno. Di ba? Tsaka alam mo, Martin and Nico, end of the day, ngayon, si Cliff Hopia, umaangat na rin yung rebounding numbers propelled by the past few games that he got double-digit numbers in rebounds. Bababa yan ng konti, pero again, yun ang gusto nila makakuha sila ng mga W's.
That's right. Dami pa yan. Meron pang Yukin Andrade dyan para sa San Beda Red Lions. All right. Now let's go to the top rebounder of the first round from EAC, JP Magoliano. Again, EAC's never been in the Final Four. Dito sa NCAA, their best record was 10-8 back in season 89. But again, they're still in the running, and again, their fortunes could change. And one of the reasons is because of the consistency. I want to point that out, the consistency of JP Magoliano this season.
Sabi nga, kahapon napanood ko si Chase, ang sabi daw niya JP Magoliano sa press conference na parang pahihirapan natin yung mga kalaban natin ngayong taon. Mukhang ganun nga talaga ang ginagawa ni JP.
Simple lang simple lang yung nangyari. Kaya nila pinahihirapan, JP Magoliano is in better shape. Yun lang yun. Because last year, he came in a little bit overweight, sprained his ankle to start off the season. Yun yung naging problema niya. And now, nakikita natin, he provides offense, double-double average for the EAC Generals, and their team captain on his last year is making a case for himself in the top 5 players of the league.
And he is flourishing in the system of Coach Jerson Cabiltes, who is a first-year head coach here in the NCAA. All right, from rebounds, let's now shift our attention to the takeaways. The Snatchers of the league, top 5 Snatchers. Ito po, sisimulan natin sa Mapua Cardinals. We got JC Recto, Paeng Are, Yuan Kamay, who played a few games for Arellano in the first round. JL De Los Santos, number 1 is Clint Escames. But we'll start with the rookie of the Mapua Cardinals, who is also a big piece in their rotation, JC Recto.
Well, playing at that power forward position, he plays that ball screen action, jump switching. Kaya nakikita mo, pagka may ball screen, siya yung tao, dun siya nakakakuha ng steals. That leads to transition baskets. Ang Mapua hindi mahilig tumakbo. They run on opportunity, and a big part of their attack is JC Recto playing that ball screen action, providing friction dun sa mga rulers sa big guys. Dahil pag sumwitch, active hands, nakakakuha ng agaw.
That's right. After JC Recto, kanina yung kalaban din niya po, Paeng Are of the San Sebastian Stags. Nico.
Itong si Are averaging 2 steals per game para dito sa San Sebastian. At syempre, once recorded 6 steals sa isa sa mga laro noong October 10. At for San Sebastian, dahil dun sa mga steals nitong si Are, number 5 sa turnover points with 14.44 points per game.
That's right. Paeng Are, who is looking more comfortable in his sophomore season dito po sa ating liga. 2 steals per game. At yung pangatlo, Arellano University. It's good to see them have a representative, at least in one of the statistical categories here. Yuan Kamay, also first-year player for Coach Chico Manabat naman.
Yep, pesky defender, always in the passing lanes, and looking forward to seeing more playing time for this kid dahil marami rin gagraduate sa Arellano, and there are other players doing their residency. So it bodes well for him to be one of the floor generals that Coach Chico can trust defensively dahil si Coach Chico, defensive player when he was in college and in the pros.
That's right. Ngayon naman, babalik tayo. Number 2 and number 1. Nagpalitan lang tong dalawa to. From the assist leaders earlier to the steals. This time we start with JL De Los Santos.
Nagkabaliktad nga lang for JL De Los Santos with 2.44 steals per game para sa JRU. That's why JRU is number 1 in turnover points, mostly because of this guy, trying to lead the defense para rito sa JRU Heavy Bombers. 19.22 points per game ang turnover points ng JRU. Also, JRU is number 1 in forcing turnovers. They were forcing their opponents to commit 19.78 turnovers per game.
All right, now we move on to the king of steals in the NCAA, the overwhelming leader who once had 8 steals.
We did that
in
game.
one game.
We did that game.
We did that game. You're right. Clint Escamis of
I mean,
Mapua.
both these guys, a little bit throwback, parang John Stockton. Best defender as a point guard, best passer for their squad. A little throwback, they play defensively, and very tough. Clint Escamis taking care of business and being the leader that Mapua was lacking the past few years that might be able to bring them to the promised land.
Isa lang masabi ko kay Clint Escamis.
Oh, ano?
He's not just snatching hearts,
Uy.
but also snatching possessions from the opponents.
Yeah.
Na-snatch din ba yung heart mo ni Clint? Nako.
Okay, back to the ball game.
Mahirap yan, ha? Kaya pala nanonood dito si Nico minsan. Nebiro lang. Okay, Clint Escamis, the king of steals in the NCAA. And also the primary reason why Mapua is number 1 in steals. In terms of, in steals average this season for the Mapua Cardinals. Okay, for the blocks, i-rundown lang natin. Kapulong, Pagaran, James Una, Will Gozum, and for the second straight season, topping this category or this department, Big Sean Umali of the LPU Pirates. You know what, I'm not surprised anymore because of his timing and because of his deceiving stature and built. Hindi mo aakalain na ganyan kagaling na rim protector itong si Sean Umali.
Baby siya nga kung tawagan, di ba?
Hindi, si Lawrence Capulong yun.
Si Lawrence
Lawrence Capulong yun. Sean Umali, number 1. Big Sean, yeah.
Nandun rin kasi naman sa Hulman itong si Sean Umali, yung pagiging baby shock niya. But talking about Sean Umali, maraming pinapahirapan talaga every game with 1.88 blocks per game.
Well, the block numbers comes, but the way that he defends that pick and roll. Again, doon tayo babalik eh. Teams like to play pick and roll. They blanket it with set plays, but at the end of the day, it ends up with either an ISO, with Sean Umali patrols the shaded area as a weak side tagger. Laging ganun na nangyayari. Nasa weak side si Sean Umali. Pag umatake, nag-aabang siya. Or on the pick and roll, na pag nag-slide show siya, siya yung tao ng ball handler, ang galing mag-backpedal to protect the shaded area, and he challenges vertically. Nakita nyo doon sa mga video sa highlights, nakataas lang yung dalawang kamay. Pag binangga mo, hindi mo mauusog, si Kyle Ochavo nakakuha lang ng isa sa kanya.
Uy!
Nakakuha si Ochavo ng isa sa kanya. But again, Sean Umali providing that backbone and heart to that very intense and very impressive LPU defense.
Yung Ochavo, nakita ko yung play na yun. In transition, pinangga si...
I-message ko si Sean. Sean, alam mo na itatanong ko sa'yo, bakit ka tumalsik? Tumalsik eh. Nagulat ako, di ba? Si Kyle, kasi give na give din yung atake ni Kyle. Muna kabuelo, so baka...
So umarte lang ba?
Hindi. Umarte si Susan. Umarte ka daw, sabi ni Nico. Siya nagsabi, ha?
Ay, hindi.
Siya nagsabi, ha?
Naniniwala ko talagang tumalsik si Sean doon.
Hindi, kasi Kyle Chavo, pag dumadrive to at
Hard
in
talaga.
transition, full commitment.
Oo.
Yeah, if you're not ready, talaga tatalsik ka sa kahan nito ni Kyle Chavo.
Totoo.
Like a bowling ball, like a meteor, diba? Running straight at you. All right, gentlemen, thank you so much for doing the heavy work today. Maraming salamat. Ladies and gentlemen, Nico Waje, Coach Hammer, Martin Antonio. Coach, kanina pa tayo
Excited for the wind-up. Papasok na tayo ng it's winning time.
Okay, Nico, congratulations on your first time here.
Thank you. Medyo nahilo lang ako sa numero. Pero I enjoyed this game on with the two great Martins of the NCAA.
Okay, maraming salamat po. Nico Waje, Coach Hammer, Martin Antonio. Sinimulan natin ang cooking ni Nico. Nagtapos tayo sa cooking din ni Nico. Hindi, biro lang. Okay, mga kapuso, maraming salamat sa inyong pagtutok. Today, it's been a crazy day in the NCAA. Sunday triple header. First game natin, panalo San Beda kontra EAC. Second game, nanalo LPU kontra Letran. Third game po natin, nanalo Mapua kontra San Sebastian. Most especially, mga kapuso, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagtutok in your favorite sports and entertainment show. This has been Game